While sitting at a table in a mall, Eleanor talked fast and was irritated, informing Nate about the trial and the last girl she saw who suffered a slow death. Patiently, he assured her he could assist. He spoke about the artist as if they were a puzzle to solve, and she didn't need to do it alone. He told her she was his masterpiece and that he loved her. Eleanor felt a warmth, turning her head and blushing. That evening, Eleanor revisited the case. She asked Nate to help catch the artist. He agreed, though he questioned her obsession to himself. She grew exhausted. She resisted sleep, touching her head. Nate was deep in thought about ways the artist could be caught. Before long, they both drifted off into a restless sleep. As the night deepened, something happened. In Eleanor's sleep, there it was, the artist. She relished the victim's blood, holding and inhaling it. Before the dream ended, the artist smiled grotesquely. Eleanor woke up, her body jerking unnaturally. The next morning, Eleanor sat alone, gathering her thoughts. The dream clung to her. She pushed it aside, convincing herself that it was exhaustion playing tricks on her mind. Elsewhere, the artist sat in a dimly lit room, lost in thought. The day prior, they had spotted her at a church, the ideal victim. A young, innocent black woman, just 22. Thinking about the best way to take her life, delusion took over. The artist's twisted mind caused them to believe the young lady was on TV, telling them she wanted to perish at the church. Slowly, they lifted their head, happy. Later that day, Eleanor's boss confronted her about her work. Eleanor defended her work, denying any impact in her pursuit of the artist. Eleanor mentioned the murderer's name, which confused her boss given that no one knew the artist's name. Eleanor hid her frustration. The media called the killer the artist. A week later, Eleanor and Nate were together. The air was heavier. Nate's patience was wearing thin. He reminded her of her past struggles with anxiety and depression. He suggested she resume her medication. It was not shameful. Her refusal annoyed him. She wouldn't accept help from others. Eleanor agreed, leaning forward with her head down. One evening, while at her desk, Eleanor got a strange call. The high-pitched voice rang in her ears. The artist instructed her to go to Sanctuary of the Redeemed, the local church, for a surprise. Shortly after, when Eleanor arrived, she pulled out both weapons, opting for a slow and varied attack on the artist. However, what she saw was disturbing. A young woman was conscious but unable to speak. It was clear the artist had injected her with scopolamine. In desperation, she begged the girl to talk about something, her favorite song, her happiest memory. But the words never came. This girl, like the last victim, resembled Eleanor. Eleanor let out a scream that tore through the church. A few days later, Eleanor decided to take the medication, hoping it would help ease her mind. But this was just the start of nightmares to come.